Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is your full moon in Scorpio message. It is a collective general reading, so as the messages come through today, take what fits, leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means that it is meant for someone else. And please check your other placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. And if you're not sure what those placements are, in the description box of this video is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. With all of that said, now let's begin. So for each of the 12 zodiac signs, I created a spiritual bag. In the bag, there's a piece of selenite and a glass evil eye stone to protect you, the message, as well as the person whose energy we're tapping into. And if you're wondering who we're tapping into, it could be a professional, platonic, or romantic connection that you had in the past or that you currently have in your life. But today we're looking at how did this person's, or I should say, how did the most transformational relationship of your life, how is it meant to transform you? How is it meant to be a catalyst of change for you? Whether you changed or not, we're going to see the reason behind why that person was in your life or maybe in your life currently. So we're going to begin with, interesting, card number 12, Canary Spirit, sing your own song. Okay, you have three tea leaf cards. Temptation will test you, unsuccessful outcome to a problem, and bread, period of prosperity and abundance. So we have apple, broken bridge, and bread. Your stone is happiness. Something about communication here. Okay, let's keep going. You also have peace, obedience, and freedom. Obedience, peace, and freedom. You have look closely at your relationships and obligations. Don't listen to others. Go within and feel your way through. Be aware of being tricked by vanity and worldly possessions. Okay, we're going to look at the letters now. These could be your initials, this person's initials. Maybe they spell out a street you live on, a street they live on, maybe a company where the two of you work together. They don't make or break the reading, so just take them how they resonate and only if they do. Okay, we have F, E, J, R, A, D, G, X, W, and H. So I'll read that to you again. F, E, J, R, A, D, G, X, W, H. Okay. We then have, looks like a hammer. We have live your dream. Oh, these are your charms. We have a rocking horse. We literally have the word happy, like in a rainbow of colors. Almost like 10 of Cups feeling with that rainbow of colors. We have a white star. We have, what are those birds down at the beach, at the ocean, where they only stand on one leg? Is that a pelican? Might be a pelican. I don't know. Drop that in the comments below. We then have an angel within a moon, a full moon. And you have two dolphins. Interesting. Dolphins mate for life, but we'll just look at this like in terms of partnership. At the end of the reading, we'll close off the reading with a Moonology card. Let's get into tarot now. So for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements, what was the most, or how was the most transformational relationship in their life meant to transform them or be a catalyst for change for them? For Scorpio, Sun, Moon babies, Rising, as well as Venus. Most transformational relationship. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Sun. The Tower. Well, that's quite the polarity there. Justice. Six of Wands. Seven of Wands. Nine of Swords. King of Wands. Ace of Pentacles. Temperance. A lot of major arcana cards. Bottom of the deck, Page of Swords. See? Something to do with communication. Right. Let's clarify. We're using the After Tarot deck. If you're not familiar with this deck, the images are different. It does alter the meaning of the cards. Let's see what wants to show itself. The Hierophant. Values, marriage, partnerships, commitment. So I feel like this is going to be broad for some of you with that Hierophant card, because Hierophant could be marriage, higher level of commitment, a social group, a social network in terms of like political or religious affiliations, community groups, certainly could be the corporation you work for. There are a lot of things that you can be connected to contractually in terms of like spiritual contracts or actual legal contracts or financial contracts that sort of fall into the Hierophant, especially in a broad collective reading. So you take this how it applies to you, but there's something here about speaking, because I look at what's on the table and I look what's not on the table, and so far we have Justice holding the Ace of Swords, but then we have the Nine of Swords. All right, let's clarify. The images in this deck, or I should say the cards in this deck, have different images, and it slightly alters the meaning of the cards, but we'll go through them as necessary in your reading today. For Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements, please clarify the Sun, the Tower, Justice, Six of Wands, Seven of Wands, Nine of Swords, King of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, and Temperance. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Sun is clarified by the Knight of Wands. The Tower is clarified by the Five of Swords. Okay, Justice is clarified by the Ace of Pentacles. Six of Wands is clarified by the Four of Pentacles. Seven of Wands clarified by the Ace of Cups. Nine of Swords clarified by the Hermit. I just heard think before you speak. Please don't get offended. These are all intended to help us, okay? King of Wands clarified by the Page of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles clarified by the Devil. You're going to have a chance to do this again, either with this individual or this type of situation or group, or with someone new, okay? Temperance clarified by Knight of Pentacles. Okay, you're going to have a chance to do this again. So I think your reading might be fairly quick today, and I apologize for that. So check your other placements. But the message is coming very quickly to me. When you engage in a partnership, professional, platonic, or romantic, if you deem it to be the Sun, okay, Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, happiness, something that's warm, a vibrational match to you, you seem to rush into it very quickly, right? Knight of Wands to the Sun. And who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want to run towards the Sun, or a person we identify as the Sun? So I feel like if it stirs your creative juices, if it stirs your sensual juices, that sounded weird, okay? Take it how it fits. Take it how it fits. That's what she said. That's what he said. Anyway, Jesus. If it motivates you, if it's creative, if it's passionate, you go right towards it, almost blindly, okay? And again, don't take offense to these messages, but it's like, oh, I want that. It's like seeing the shiny new car in the lot, and you're like, I want that. I could see myself in that. Again, that's what he said. So the Tower to the Five of Swords. What ends up happening is, I'm going to clarify. I get the feeling here, we go right in because we have such a feel-good feeling for this. But then if there's a disagreement, or we feel like the other person's not on page, or something seems amiss, or maybe we have an issue with trust, and we feel like this person's deceiving us, boom, we blow it up. Some type of Mars action here or Pluto action occurs. I usually attribute the Tower to you, to us. So there's something here of becoming very verbally aggressive when what we thought was the Sun, was supposed to be the Sun, ends up not being the Sun, or we feel like we're being tricked in some way. Let's clarify this, because there's something here with communication. You know, the canary spirit, sing your own song. When we think about, I'm not very good with birds in terms of romantic partnerships or tarot readings, but the canary spirit is one that I'm familiar with. It did come up in a personal reading I did for someone. I don't think she was a Scorpio. She might have been a Sag. But anyway, I'm trying to go by memory. It was like a year and a half ago. There's something about being able to heal a relationship, singing your own song, like expressing yourself, expressing your emotions, but in a calm way, in a melodic way, in a peaceful way, in a temperance way, right? Canaries are not aggressive. This is not a hawk or something like that. They're not aggressive by nature. So there's something here about like developing or maintaining a happy and harmonious connection, whether professional, platonic, or romantic, and being able to express those feelings in a smooth and melodic way, not a Tower to the Five of Swords way. The Sun. Tell me about the Sun. One more shuffle. Thank you. It's almost like when something goes wrong, we may be tempted. Temptation will test us, right? To come out a little verbally aggressively, want to shut the person down, send, 9 million text messages. And that would be an unsuccessful outcome to a problem. But there's a period of prosperity and abundance that comes in if we temper the tone of our communication. So I think this person was supposed to teach us how to communicate our feelings in a healthier way or a less aggressive way, or to not suppress things to the point where it's sort of, I know it's not a volcano, but the Tower card sometimes reminds me of a volcano, like an eruption, especially with the Five of Swords, to not suppress things. You know, okay, I'm not going to say anything about that. Okay, I'm going to let them go on that. Okay, she did a little dig again. Okay, that felt like a shank. You know, I'm not going to say anything. And then they do the smallest thing. They leave the cap off the toothpaste bottle. You text them, they don't respond. And then it's like, you mother effer, blah, 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 after everything I did for you, right? Please don't get upset. So, but again, that's because like we overly suppressed or, you know, and then because of that feeling of oppression, they do the smallest little things, sort of like the straw that broke the camel's back. And that might be something here in terms of a communication wound that we have, okay? Let's clarify the sun. The sun is clarified by the Chariot. Yeah, when I see it, I want it. I want victory with it. I want to move forward with it. I can see myself in it. Two of Pentacles and the Fool. I'm ready to jump in. I've weighed the pros and cons. I like it. I like how it sounds. I like how it smells. I like how it looks. Maybe I like how it feels. Knight of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Magician. I feel aligned to this. That was the feeling I was saying at the beginning. I feel like this is something I manifested. I manifested this job. Oh my God, this sounds like a great business partner. This person's going to end up being my best friend. Oh my God, this is the lover I always wanted. So it's a fool's rush in. Chariot to the Two of Pentacles, to the Fool, to the Sun. I weigh the pros and cons. I've thought about it enough. Really, we haven't. There are no swords there. But Knight of Wands, I'm just going to move towards it. Clarify the Knight of Wands. Clarify the Knight of Wands. One more shuffle. Thank you. Knight of Wands is clarified by Six of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and the Eight of Cups. Okay, and then there's like an emotional disappointment. I moved towards it. I'm going to go a little slower. I don't rush the speeds of my videos, by the way. So if they go too fast, too slow, there's a gear icon on the video that you can click, and then you can adjust the speed. Sometimes I channel very quickly, sometimes very slowly. So please use that icon. So there's something here of like a fool's rush in. I went towards this. It looked like a great opportunity. It sounded like a great opportunity. Six of Pentacles, I don't feel like I'm receiving reciprocity. The job is not what I thought it was. I thought this person would invest in me more. I thought this would be the best friend who would show up when I needed them. Once I feel rejected, I walk away. And the after tarot deck, the individual is walking away from being breadcrumbed, walking away from feeling like they have to beg to have their needs, wants, or desires fulfilled. So they walk away. That Ace of Wands to the Eight of Cups, it's like, I'm so disappointed in you. I'm disappointed in myself, because what I thought would be that passionate, new, creative beginning or endeavor or relationship, because the Knight holds the Ace of Wands, end up being just an emotional disappointment for me. The Tower. Clarify that Tower. And now it's like I'm pissed. That's the feeling that I get. Like, now I'm pissed because you presented this to be the Sun. You presented this to be the ideal work situation, the ideal social group I should join, the ideal friendship, the ideal human. Like, you presented yourself as the ideal lover. And it didn't work out that way. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Tower is clarified by the Queen of Cups. That's you, whether you're masculine or feminine. Three of Cups. And the Eight of Cups again. So this was supposed to be union, community, harmony, rejoicement, people coming together to celebrate one another, maybe to build a life together. Sometimes Three of Cups could be foundational to the Ten of Cups. And I sort of look at the Three of Pentacles the same way, like laying the foundation of teamwork to get to the Ten of Pentacles. So this is like, I thought we were in this. I thought we were in this, we were working on this, and suddenly I'm emotionally disappointed. Eight of Pentacles. After putting in a lot of effort, a lot of pentacle energy, time, love, money, talent, whatever, this connection is not what I thought it was, right? The job is not what I thought it was. Five of Swords, and now I'm angry. And take a look at that. Sun to the Two of Wands. Now I'm angry that I have to move on from this. What I thought was my Sun, Two of Wands, now I have to consider leaving it. I didn't do anything wrong. You did. You didn't show up the way you thought, you know, or the way I thought you would, or the way you said you would, right? The job is just, I thought this was going to be a great job, and it's not. And if we're not even looking at it, because this could be like several connections that you've had, right? It's a general collective reading. This could be like the lover who disappoints you. In addition to that, remember that one hotel stay that you had in your life where you looked it up online and it was supposed to be really great, and then you get there and like the bed sheets are used or the carpet is stained, you know what I mean? And by used, obviously I know bed sheets in hotels are used, but I mean like unwashed, uncleaned. And it's like, this is, now you're angry, right? Because it's not what you portrayed it to be. This was supposed to be a vacation resort or some type of retreat. And I went by what you presented to me, that sun card. And now I'm here and I took the chance, and now I'm very disappointed because I put my pentacle resources, my money, right? I booked this time slot, I booked this room, I booked this event, whatever. And I'm just very upset. So it's almost like, I'm not upset because I did anything wrong. I'm upset because you did something wrong. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Five of Swords is clarified by Seven of Swords. I feel deceived. I feel lied. I feel tricked to. And for some of you, it's like, I'm feeling this again. And I say again because in the After Tarot deck, the individual's almost about to step into another trap. So it's like either you feel like this person did it to you again, like repetitiously, like repetitively, or it's like, oh my God, I fell for it again. This is another job that took, you know, pull the wool over my eyes. This is another lover who disappointed me. This is another friend who backstabbed me. So that's that feeling. And of course that's going to stir, you know, aggression with you. Seven of Swords, Three of Swords, and Temperance. There you go. Bottom of the deck, the Tower. You can't make up this message. So it looks good, smells good, sounds good. I move forward with it. I don't even give it any thought. I don't even discuss it with anyone. There are no swords there. I just went right for it, believing what the other individual was telling me. And then it ends up not being what I thought it was. I'm very angry. I have some type of wound here, possibly because of a trust wound. You just triggered that trust wound for me again, because now I feel like you're being shady or underhanded, or I blatantly know you are, right? Because the resort is filthy and online it showed it to be very clean. So again, there's something here of like, something was not balanced, something was not moderate. This was not the intended purpose. Sometimes the balance card, sometimes Temperance could talk about purpose. Especially when we're looking at connections, right? Two people come in with the same mission or the same purpose to balance a connection. So there was no Seven of Swords to Temperance there. There was no balance. There was no purpose. Like, why did you do this? Or why did you deceive me is the feeling. So it triggers a wound within the Scorpio collective, and it possibly could be a trust wound. So what does that do? It triggers an avalanche of aggression from you. Five of Swords to the Tower. How could you betray me again? Or how could you do me dirty like the last person did? Or I told you at the interview what the last job did to me, and you said, no, rest assured, we don't operate that way. And now I'm here, and guess fucking what? You do operate that way. If you don't like cursing, check another reader, because I tend to channel the energy of the collective, and right now I'm channeling Scorpio when they're angry. Obviously you don't walk around the face of the earth angry 24/7, but I'm feeling your anger because I trusted that sun. Justice. And now you want justice, right? You want justice, maybe revenge, something like that. Well, then I want a refund, or you've got to make good. You look at the individual who crossed you as like, well, now you've got to make good on it because I wasted those 8 pentacles on you. Okay. Justice. One more shuffle. Thank you. Justice, clarified by Queen of Swords. Now I want justice. Now it's off with someone's head. Now someone owes me the refund. Oh, what do you mean you don't want a long-term relationship? I just spent 8 years with you. Now you don't want a long-term relationship? Like that's the feeling that I get here. Queen of Swords, Two of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles. I want you to make good on this. Remember when you made that decision that you were going to offer me this? I didn't expect it to be breadcrumbing. So, I didn't want breadcrumby stuff from you, or a crappy job or whatever. Now I want you to make the decision to make it right. So it's interesting because the Two of Swords is the Moon in Libra, and the Six of Pentacles is actually a Taurus card. However, in most decks, it depicts an individual holding a scale, or we see the symbol of the scales of justice right there as well. So I always give a little nod to Libra, even though it's Taurus. But I'm going to read that two different ways because the Six of Pentacles is actually the moon in Taurus. The feeling I get here is like you have to make it good, like tangible, like I want the refund, or it's not, you're not looking for the expression of, oh, I'm so sorry we couldn't accommodate you, or I'm so sorry I changed my mind, or I'm so sorry I left that little part out. You're looking for something 3D. And again, it's like, well, I want justice for this. You can't just say you're sorry. You literally have to make good on it in the real world. Again, it comes from a place of aggression. But because I look at it as a little nod to Libra, we have the Justice card there, which is Libra. The Two of Swords is the moon in Libra. Libra is the house of partnerships, marriage, contracts, whether they're professional, platonic, or romantic. So the feeling here is, I have or had this contract with you, spiritual, financial. You know, a financial contract is booking a hotel room. A spiritual contract is feeling like someone is a soulmate, whether they're a friend, family member, or lover. Soulmates come in all shapes and sizes. So whether it's a moral contract, a legal contract, a spiritual contract, I trusted it to be fair and balanced, Libra. And because it was not, you now have to make good on it. Bottom of the deck, Page of Wands. You need to discover a way to make good on it. Ace of Pentacles. You want them to make good on it, right? It's got to be tangible. It's not the Ace of Swords. One more shuffle. Thank you. It's not the apology. It's you have to make good on it. Four of Cups. Make good on it or I'm walking away. Or I'll give you bad reviews, bad Google reviews for your resort. Because in the After Tower deck, the individual is dumping out the Ace of Cups. I don't want to hear your emotions. Don't express to me that you're sorry. I want the Ace of Pentacles. I want you to make it tangibly good. Three of Pentacles. I want us, again, tangibly good. Remember what I was saying about the Three of Cups? For me, is like sometimes foundational to get to the Ten of Cups. Three of Pentacles is foundational to get to the Ten of Pentacles. So it's like you're telling this person, or at least energetically, I want you to work on making this good. High Priestess, bottom of the deck to start. I want you to make good on making this because I trusted this. You sold me something. My intuition told me to move forward with it. I did. I was very excited. I feel very disappointed. I'm very angry, and I want you to make good on it. And don't just tell me you're sorry. I don't want to hear it. It's a lot of messages. I'm taking in a lot of energy here. This is where the message gets a little, might not be exactly what you want to hear, okay? So please don't get upset with me. I'm only here to channel the messages. Keep in mind, I'm a Scorpio moon as well. Six of Wands to the Four of Pentacles. Victory can actually be yours or easily attainable or achievable if we shed away that layer of ourselves that we're holding on to that makes us either bury our head in the sand and oppress feelings until it, remember what I was saying, mounds up like a volcano, and if we it's like verbal diarrhea that we're throwing at someone, or shed away that immediate trigger is to mother F the person. It doesn't mean to stick your head in the sand. It doesn't mean to keep ignoring the red flags. It's just finding a more tempered way, a more balanced way to express our feelings like a canary would sing a song. A canary doesn't sing a song that's annoying, right? It's not, if you've listened to sounds of a canary, maybe you want to do that after this video, you could just YouTube sounds of a canary. You can actually hear what they sound like. They actually do kind of sing a song. It's an actual sweet way. It's a sweet way to communicate with an individual. Again, it's not a hawk. And notice in this deck, the canary is wearing a crown. So it's almost like you come from a better position of authority, or you're taken more seriously. Don't be offended by that. If you can express your displeasure in a calm, soothing way. Again, doesn't say to suppress your feelings. It just says to communicate them in a healthier way, because you will be tempted to mother F, and maybe that's what you did in the past. But the reason for this person to be in your life was to get you to learn how to express feelings, disappointments, in a more tempered, balanced way. Not for them, for you. Like to help a communication wound within the Scorpio collective. Tell me about that Six of Wands, because I feel like that's a period of prosperity and abundance comes to you if we communicate differently. Peaceful, like a peaceful resolution. Again, no one's telling you you have to be obedient and put up with someone's crap. That's not at all what I'm saying. Please do not interpret it that way. But there's something here about peaceful resolution, all in the way that we communicate, whether you ever want to stay at that hotel again or not. Six of Wands, one more shuffle. Thank you. Six of Wands is clarified by Page of Cups. A little bit of honey goes a long way. Page of Cups, Five of Pentacles, and the Strength card. So holding back from looking at something from maybe like a different perspective. Eight of Wands. There's something here that when this occurs, you feel wronged. Five of Pentacles. Some type of abandonment wound or a trust wound kicks in. And there's something here about acknowledging it and holding yourself back, recognizing it. Strength card, recognizing. So before you respond, it's almost like, why am I feeling this way right now? Yes, I know. They sold me shitty images of the hotel and I believed it and it ends up being a lie. But let me go one layer deeper. That's what this person was meant to get you to do. Instead of automatically reacting, automatically assuming, yes, what they're doing is wrong. I think this person wronged you multiple times. For some of you, this person's still in your life, or you have some level of communication. I say that because I don't have the World card here. So maybe you're still connected to them in the 3D. Maybe you still haven't cut the energetic cord and you're just tied to them energetically. This person has not left your energy. So the feeling I get here is, yes, they wronged you, but they're supposed to. That's their soul contract with you. Their soul contract is to continue to trigger you. And again, whether it's one person or it's multiple people, professional, platonic, romantic, meant to continually trigger you until you not just look at why you're pissed off over what they're doing or not doing, but to go a layer deeper within yourself and say, where's this coming from? What is this re-triggering for me? Yeah, okay. They put up, 24 photos of the hotel and I thought it was great and this is why I booked it and now I'm here and I'm not happy. Do they have to make it right? Yeah. Should I get a refund? Absolutely. But the anger is coming from inside the house, a few levels deeper. That's what you need to look at. And where that comes from is going to be different for all of you. A childhood wound, an abandonment wound. That's the wound that's not fully healed. And this person's sole purpose is to get you to heal it. Or maybe was. Again, I don't know. It could be past tense for some of you. Once you heal that wound, then you'll be able to communicate better because you've been holding on to that wound. Four of Pentacles is like the Miser card. But in the After Tarot deck, it's met with Grim Reaper. Scorpionic energy here, the Death card. So it's letting go. It's seeing that wound, not allowing yourself to be triggered by it, being able to recognize it and heal it so you can finally let go. So the next time you find yourself in a position where you book, holiday or vacation and the hotel isn't what you want, you still get the sweet results that you want. You can still get the refund or whatever, but it's not coming from someone else mother effed me and F you for doing this. It's not coming from anger. It's coming from, this was not right. I saw this. This is what I did. The result is this place does not match the, whatever the images or the descriptions, whatever was online or in the brochure. It's being almost able to like politely correct the record or state what occurred and then ask for the refund. Instead of it wounding you. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Four of Pentacles. See that? Five of Cups. So there's a few layers deeper here on why you feel that way when this person does this. Two of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands. There's a wound here. Okay, bottom of the deck, Two of Wands. There's a wound here. You've moved on in your life from that wound. Obviously, let's use an example. This happened at 5 years old, right? Maybe you had a parent pass away at 5 years old and you never fully healed that wound. And anytime something doesn't go right, it re-triggers, right? Goes down to that basement within you, that emotional basement that we all have, and it triggers that wound that mom passed away when you were 5 or dad passed away when you were 5. It's triggering an abandonment wound. Is it wrong what they did with the hotel and all of that and the false advertising? Absolutely. But a healthy person does not react Tower to the Five of Swords. They can still get the refund, but they don't have to get it. They won't receive the refund because they behaved Tower to the Five of Swords. So that's what I mean by go below the surface. When was the first time you experienced that? The first time someone really betrayed your trust? that's the wound that needs to heal. The first time you can remember really feeling abandoned, that's the wound that needs to heal. Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands. Five of Cups. Again, that Five of Cups to the King of Pentacles. It could be for some of you, if we're looking at it like someone you relied on financially. Maybe you have someone who really financially effed you over in the past. I mean, like really effed you over. And they're no longer in your life. But anytime something happens, like with the hotel, you feel like your money's being effed over again. And you got to stand up for yourself because that King of Pentacles effed you over at some point. Maybe it happened in a divorce. Maybe someone took advantage of you. You lent money that you didn't really have, but you scrounged together and you gave it to a friend and they abandoned you. King of Pentacles to the Five of Cups could be a disappointment you had in a father figure or someone who was paternal in nature to you, like a grandfather or an uncle. So again, it's going deep within that emotional basement for you. And again, what that wound is different for all of us, but that's what is being triggered, and that's what this person was supposed to get you to look at. Seven of Wands. Clarify the Seven of Wands. One more shuffle. It says, look closely at your relationships. Yeah, you got to look closely in your relationships. Like going back, when was the first time I felt this? Okay. One more shuffle here. Thank you. We'll take it. Seven of Wands, clarified by the Empress. The Four of Pentacles, that's what you've been holding on to, my love, and the Four of Swords, and that's what needs to heal. Whatever, King of Swords here at the bottom of the deck, whatever makes you that automatically you feel like you're being screwed over, someone's lying to you, someone is abandoning you, that's what you need to look at. That pain that you've been holding on to, that's what needs to heal. Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups could be a card of healing as well, right? Healing an internal wound, loving ourselves to replenish our own cup, to heal that wound once and for all. Tell me about the Ace of Cups. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Ace of Cups is clarified by the Emperor. Look at that. Emperor to the Empress. Ten of Wands and a Star card. That's that person's role. That's what was their role or is their role. Again, I don't know if they're still in your life or not. And for some of you, it very well could be a string of people. And I can think back now that I'm doing this reading. I could see that in a couple of the exes that I had prior to me getting married. Possibly my marriage as well. Certainly the twin flame journey I've been on for the last 6 years. Absolutely. And even though we're in union now, union does not mean the lessons stop. Flowers on the desk do not mean that the lessons have stopped. The lessons continue. So there's definitely something here of that was the person's role. Something you were holding on to became like an emotional albatross to you. And anytime you felt triggered by them, by someone else, yeah, that's the intention of this particular connection. And like I said, it could have been several people, because I could think back to a couple of friends who really screwed me over. I'm going to have to probably meditate on this after this reading a lot to see if they're all connected, you know, because right now I'm focusing on your energy, not my own. But there could be something there. I remember a hotel in Las Vegas screwing me over, a landlord in Florida when I lived in Florida for a couple of years after high school. So yeah, think about that. Whatever you have experienced with this person, either now or in the past, try to go back and think about, and I would journal it out, write it out on your phone, your laptop, whatever, pen and paper if you want, all the times that you felt that exact same feeling of like betrayal, or someone proved themselves to be deceptive. I would keep going back in memory, like keep writing it until you get to that bottom of the basement floor emotionally, so you could see where it's really coming from. Does it correct what all those people did? No, absolutely not. Doesn't mean that they were right to do that to you. No, but I feel like it was the universe continually sending people, these different experiences for you to continue to get you to look at that wound. And if we're looking in terms of this being the one big transformational connection that you had, this would have been someone who triggered that wound constantly pressing on it like a black and blue. You ever press on a black and blue? It's the most uncomfortable feeling, but it's meant to get you to look at it, right? If I have a black and blue on the back of my shoulder that I can't visually see, But every time he puts his hand on me, you know, like to hold me or hug me, he's pressing on it. It's to get me to look. It's to get me to look at that in the mirror, or get me to look at myself and go, oh my God, there's a black and blue there. That's why that hurts. So I feel like this person, if we're looking at in terms of one person, is meant to keep kind of pressing on that black and blue to get you to look at it and go, oh my God, there's a freaking black and blue there that has not healed. Okay, let's clarify. Nine of Swords to the Hermit. So again, it's going within in that Hermit energy. So I'm not going to clarify this, but it's going within. And I'm almost looking at like you listing, like going through your thoughts. She's like in deep meditation. And I know that's not what the Nine of Swords means. Don't come at me in the comments. You don't know tarot. I'm also an intuitive reader. So the feeling I get here is sort of really think back. There's one Ace of Swords up here, and then there's 8 swords here. So again, I get that feeling of like listing out all of those memories you have of the last time you felt that way, or different experiences with people that made you feel that exact same feeling of whatever it is, but betrayal or something like that. King of Wands to the Page of Pentacles. You're going to have the opportunity now. I'll try to get you timing. You have another connection here. This is going to be new. Ace of Pentacles. It's either new or someone currently in your life, like a renewed. Okay, so new or renewed. Take it how it resonates to you. It doesn't have to be one for one, meaning maybe this is a past lover and this is a new friend coming in. Or this was a past boss that did this and this is a new, you know, a lover. So you're going to have to take it how it resonates. But I'm going to call an opportunity, not a person. Okay, we'll just say there's a new opportunity coming in. It's going to trigger this exact same wound. Okay, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. Except this time we have the Devil card, clarifying that Ace of Pentacles. In the After Tower deck, well, I should explain. Typically what we see in the Devil card is a person or two people shackled to themselves or shackled to the devil or shackled to the podium that the devil presides over. But in the After Tower deck, they're freed. So the pattern has been resolved. The toxic pattern, whatever it is here, I'm going to see it as a wound that was triggering you or triggering a negative communicative response from you. So you're going to have an opportunity with someone, whether, you know, past person, current person, new person, something like that. It's not going to go according to plan. It's meant to get you to look at the wound that we just discussed. All right, let's see what this is all about. King of Wands. It's like this King of Wands. They don't have to be a fire sign. They don't have to be a masculine. They're coming to you with an Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Offer, opportunity, communication. Clarify that King of Wands. Clarify the King of Wands. For me, queens exist in the present because they process the past, and kings take action. So regardless of who this is, they're taking action to present you with that Ace of Pentacles. Do you notice that the person giving the Ace of Pentacles, like it would be this King of Wands, is taller than this? I'm telling you, it has something to do with a childhood wound for some of you, or I would say for the majority of you. Hold on to that. I think for a lot of you, it's a childhood wound. King of Wands. Clarify the King of Wands. One more shuffle. Thank you. King of Wands is clarified by Ace of Cups. Yep, everything I said is the truth. This is a childhood wound. 6 of Cups, childhood wound. 6 of Cups is also, we're looking at this person's energy. This is either someone you know or someone who's going to appear like that Sun card when you meet them for the first time, because they're going to feel like an old soul, someone you've known for a past life. You have tons of deja vu with this person. So someone from your past, someone you presently know, or someone new that you'll be meeting, but they're going to feel like home. You're going to feel like you know this person. That's who's presenting this Ace of Pentacles to you. 4 of Wands, okay? The 4 of Wands, the Sun card, right? Presenting you this opportunity that to you looks like stable. Look, we're going to have fun. I'm going to enjoy this. Again, it's that same triggering that Sun card for you. Hangman. It's meant to get you to look at this wound again. Clarify that Page of Pentacles. One more shuffle. Thank you. Page of Pentacles is clarified by Ace of Swords. Everything I said is the truth. 2 of Swords. And the Strength card, bottom of the deck, 10 of Pentacles. When it doesn't go according to plan, or there's a hiccup in the plan, are you going to be able to hold yourself back? Not to bury your head in the sand, but to give yourself a timeout and say, okay, this person presented me with this Ace of Pentacles. It sounds good, or it sounded good. I move towards it. It's not feeling so good right now. What is it triggering for me? Again, I'm not saying what this person's doing is right, but you're supposed to hold yourself back before making the decision to communicate. Strength card, Two of Swords, Ace of Swords. Hold on. I know I need to address this. Again, not telling you not to address it, but there's a checkpoint here. Hangman. Before we say anything, Hangman, where's this feeling coming from? Again, let's get to the bottom of the basement. Ace of Pentacles. Clarify the Ace of Pentacles. The Star came out in the reverse. So again, it sounds really good. Sun card, Star card, Four of Wands, wish fulfillment. Oh my God, this sounds like it's going to be a great destination place to go on vacation. This person is asking me out on a date and I think they might be the one, or I'm very interested in them. My romantic partner just promised me something and I'm going to hang on his word or her word that it's the truth. There's something like that. Someone's giving you an Ace of Pentacles and you're expecting it to be an Ace of Pentacles, not a tarnished Ace of Pentacles, not a, a silver-plated Ace of Pentacles or a gold-plated Ace of Pentacles. You're assuming it's going to be a genuine Ace of Pentacles. And there's a little hiccup here. It's really not exactly what you thought it would be. A new person asks you out on a date, you don't bother to get any info. You're just like, they say, I know this great restaurant, I'd like to take you there. And you're like, oh my God, great. And Friday night, okay, I'll pick you up at 8 o'clock or meet me there at 8 o'clock. Okay, great. And you go and you're dressed to the nines and it's like, you plug in the address and you get there and it's fucking Burger King. And you're like, are you serious? It's a hiccup. It is an Ace of Pentacles. It's just not the Ace of Pentacles you thought it was. Do you mother F the person out in the middle of Burger King? How do you react? Where does that sense of loss, feeling betrayed? I trusted you. I thought you were going to take me to a nice place. Where's that anger coming from? Pause before responding. Again, not telling you not to respond. Pause and go within. Ask yourself, where's this coming from? Clarify that Ace of Pentacles. One more shuffle. Thank you. Nine of Wands. That wounds. It's trying to get you to look at the wound. This is going to happen again. This person is pressing on the black and blue to get you to look at the black and blue. Page of Pentacles. There's this person offering you the Page of Pentacles. It's trying to get you to look at the wounds. Look at the Page of Pentacles, really looking at the pentacle. This person is giving you the Ace of Pentacles. They're handing it to you. It's an opportunity for you to look, Page of Pentacles, look at the pentacle, look at the wounds. The opportunity to look at the wounds. So don't look at it like, oh my God, they're screwing me over, they're screwing me over again, or it's another person screwing me over. Pause. There's something so much deeper here at play. Your response, again, you should say something. Hey, you're pressing on that black and blue. Absolutely. But you also got to look at that black and blue because you've been walking around the earth thinking there's no black and blue there, but there is. So now you get to respond. You know where it comes from. So you can now respond in a way that's equal to what they did, because the person pressing on the black and blue, it's not like they chopped your head off. So you don't have to respond back to chop their head off. We're not doing one chop head off or another chop head off. It's not an eye for an eye here. So it's being able to respond. Oh my, ow, you pressed on that black and blue. That really hurts. Do you see where I'm saying, like, the difference from like mother effing the person to acknowledging what they did wrong and then expecting them to make it right? One more shuffle. Thank you. The Devil. Page of Wands. Because you discovered, right? Page of Wands. Where was that Page of Wands here? So many cards on the table now. We did have the Page of Wands, and I said it was discovering where it comes from. I know I saw it. Maybe it was at the bottom of the deck, but okay, anyway. I'm pretty sure if you rewinded, I said Page of Wands here. It's trying to get you to discover where that pain came from. Ten of Pentacles. Something here in your past tied to family, long-term connection, someone you trusted. Maybe someone that you worked for in that Ten of Pentacles. Queen of Cups. And we go right back here to the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups here is a bit stoic. She's a little cold in the deck that I use for you. She's not as loving. In the After Tower deck, she's taken the lid off. She's looking deep within that cup. She's looking at the bottom of that well. She's looking at the bottom of the basement. She's trying to figure out, where did this come from? this feeling that I have. Is it wrong what this person did? Pressed on my black and blue. Yes. But what is it trying to remind me of? So this is going to happen again for you relatively soon. Stop and look at the wound. Then you can get back to the person on how, just exactly what they did, how it affected you. But it's a lot sweeter or kinder, canary spirit way of you to express your feeling, as opposed to Tower to the Five of Swords. Because if you remove the feelings from the original wounds, now you're just addressing what occurred. It seems to me like you've been addressing the wrongs done to you, almost like from a place of anger. Like it's like the kid in you, or a past version of you, even if it's not a kid in you, that like there's like a past version of you inside of you that really wants to address that original wound. And you weren't able to back then, and you haven't healed it. And you haven't addressed it since then. So anytime someone triggers the wound, all that anger comes out. The anger you felt the first time that wound was inflicted on you. This is a pretty deep reading. 45-minute mark. Oh, Lord. Temperance. It's a deep reading for Scorpio. I thought it was going to be a quick reading. Boy, did I lie. One more shuffle day. You made me look like a liar. Temperance, clarified by King of Swords, Ace of Wands, and the Three of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, Four of Cups. It's being able to communicate your displeasure in an Ace of Wands that you pursued, that you thought would be ABC, but it ended up being XYZ, and now you can communicate it in a more productive Three of Pentacles way to resolve the issue or solve the problem or address the matter in a temperance, balanced way, being able to express disappointment. Knight of Pentacles, which is Virgo energy. That would be a wound now that you healed. One more shuffle. Thank you. Knight of Pentacles, clarified by the Hierophant. There's your spiritual lesson with this person that you have a soul contract. And again, it could be 10 people that you've had in your past. So this next lesson is also coming from someone you have a soul contract with. Again, pressing on that black and blue so you finally acknowledge it. Seven of Cups. In the After Tarot deck, the person's leaving 6 cups on the shelf and taking the Ace of Cups. So leaving the past in the past, or at least recognizing that past wound. Three of Wands, and able to finally move on from it. This is the Sun in Aries. The Sun to the Ace of Wands. This is, again, the Sun to the Ace of Wands. We're sort of ending your reading with what we began with. Now being able to start over. Now we can move towards the Sun and the Ace of Wands in a more healed way. And when there is a hiccup, we can address it for what it is. Not with all of the anger or aggression or pain and hurt that we still have within us because of past issues, past wounds that we haven't healed, didn't want to acknowledge. Bottom of the deck, Queen of Swords. And now that is enlightenment. Because the Queen of Swords to the Page of Cups is able to communicate it in a loving way. Not this way. This is you mother effer. You know what I mean? You put up 24 pictures and this place was supposed to be good and I just checked in. The fucking carpet's all dirty. That's this. You better make good on it. I want a refund. I want free dinners. I want a gift certificate to the best restaurant in the area. I spent 8 pentacles to get here. And this is, upon review, I'm not happy. I feel deceived. The Queen of Swords can speak from a place of brevity, especially when coupled with the Page of Cups. So this is what I thought I was getting. This is what I have now received. I'm not happy with it. And I'd like you to make good on it. And the person makes good on it. Justice is served. The person makes good on it. And we're able to get that because we spoke in a canary spirit, not hawk, vulture, you know what I mean? Tower, five of swords. Justice is still served, but in a kinder, gentler way, and probably one that also is better for your body because there's less stress involved. Freedom, being free from that old wound, finally recognizing it. You're not going to heal this overnight. But that's what the most transformational relationship in your life was meant to get you to look at. Yeah. Don't listen to others, like those other memories or those other traumas, right? Go within, feel your way through to the bottom of that basement. Take as long as you need if you haven't done that. Some of you have already done that and you're already showing up in the world and you're, interacting or reacting differently. Bravo. But many of us haven't. And it's time that we do that. Otherwise, the lesson's going to keep coming. So that's how we get more harmonious dolphin to dolphin connections. That's when we can truly live our dream or express maybe even disappointment in something that we thought would be a dream or dream-like. Then we're better balanced. We don't have to come down like a hammer. I feel like we come down like a hammer when we're reacting from that wounded place. So there's something here about like happy being restored. Maybe even like the child within you being restored here, especially with that rocking horse. All right, let's get you a couple of cards now. For those of you who are this person or people, again, I don't know how many people we just tapped into there, but the person or people, if they're no longer in your life, if they're no longer in Scorpio's life, you don't talk to them anymore, you broke up with them, you're never going back to that hotel again, 3 cards here, no longer in their life. One more shuffle, thank you. Look at that, 2 petals. Just fell off of my flowers. Time to get me new flowers, Bebe. So yeah, they fell out of your life, right? They're no longer in your life. We'll take that as a sign. 3 of Cups, the Devil, okay? The 8 of Wands. Just because they're out of your life doesn't mean that the lesson is over. I told you got another lesson coming. So just because they're no longer in your life, you broke up with that jerk, you're never going back to that hotel, you quit that job, you're not talking to that family member, the wound within you hasn't been healed for the majority of you. So they're not in your life anymore, but that wound still is, which means it's going to the next thing. Oh, I got to get you timing on that. Let me bring that there so I remember that. The next thing is going to trigger that again for you. Could be same person, could be different people. Okay, 3 cards for those of you where this person or these people are still in your life. 3 cards of advice for my Scorpios who still have this person or people in their life. One more shuffle. Thank you. That's a lot of cards. I'm not going to take the ones that fell face down. 9 of Swords, 2 of Pentacles. That list that you're supposed to write out, I would do that. 2 of Pentacles is the first deacon in Capricorn. The Devil is Capricorn. 2 of Pentacles could talk about time management. If that person or people are still in your life, there's something here about you creating time management to go through that list. One more shuffle. Thank you. 8 of Pentacles. You're going to, it's not even proper grammar. You will be investing in something. Time, love, money. Same thing like that 8 of Pentacles we saw at the beginning. And it's not going to go according to plan. 2 of Swords. You're going to have a decision here to make. You can be 5 of Swords to the Tower card. Or you can say, wait a minute, this person's pressing on the black and blue. It's time I look at the fucking black and blue. I want to get you timing. 2 of Swords. There's that 5 of Pentacles. I'm telling you, it's going to trigger before you respond. 7 of Pentacles. Pause. Acknowledge where the pain is really coming from. Is there disappointment in this? Absolutely. This person did or said something, the boss says they're going to buy lunch on Friday, so you don't pack a lunch to go to work on Friday because the boss just said they're going to buy you lunch, and then you get there on Friday and the boss took off, or the boss booked the lunch meeting, and now they're not buying you lunch. There's a disappointment there, and you certainly can express disappointment in that, but you don't have to 5 of Swords the Tower and lose your job on Friday because the boss isn't buying you lunch, because their schedule changed. Because if your mother effing the boss over that on a Friday, there's a deeper wound you got to look at. So pause before you respond. This is going to come in. It's going to trigger that abandonment 5 of Pentacles. Pause before you respond. That's your victory. 6 of Wands. Ace of Swords. Okay? You're going to be able to communicate from a softer way, or at least have the opportunity to. You can still address the matter, but not from a wounded place. When is this happening? You know what? This is like long-term timing for me. If we want to look at like a couple weeks out, couple months out, next year, this is more eminent for me. So let's get timing for you. Not every card in tarot is timing, but let's see what we get. Can I get timing? When is this Ace of Pentacles opportunity? When's the opportunity coming in? Okay. Hangman in the reverse, Hermit in the reverse, Ten of Swords in the reverse. Okay, it's going to try to get you to look at that wound, that Ten of Swords, so you can heal it once and for all. When is Scorpio experiencing the Ace of Pentacles, the opportunity? One more shuffle. Thank you. RX. RX. I just saw R, like how it is on a prescription bottle, like a big R and then like a little X. That's medication, right? Pharmacy. It's trying to get you to heal that wound. Okay, this is going to try to get you to heal that wound. Six of Swords within the next 6 weeks. So it could be this week for some of you, could be 3 weeks from now, could be 6 weeks from now. For me, swords are weeks. Within the next 6 weeks, Death card. That's you, Scorpionic energy. Okay, so this lesson is coming to you within the next 6 weeks. We'll close it out with a Moonology card. Now we're close to an hour. Sorry for taking up so much of your time, but I do think it was a very important message. Close it out with the Moonology card here, please, for the Scorpio collective. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Don't let your past hold you back. South Node. Don't let that past wound hold you back. Bottom of the deck, luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. Get the expansive view. Get the bigger picture here. When this hiccup occurs, when this communication comes through that sounds really great, this offer opportunity, and you move forward with it, and then there's a disappointment. You can address the disappointment, but first ask yourself, the rage that you feel over that disappointment, where's the rage coming from? That's what needs to be addressed. And there's something here in your past. That's what I have for you, Scorpio. Quite the transformational reading, I think, for all of us. But yeah, I enjoy this. I hope you did too. That is what I have for you. If you like those messages, they resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of them, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video on your mobile device if you're able to do that. And don't forget to check out your other placements. Until I read for you again, I'm wishing you light, love, and peace.